Frankly, I think WordPress is pretty much dead. I don't know why anyone would choose to use WordPress anymore, quite frankly.
You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here to the Live Local Podcast. Today we're with Aaron. Sir, how are we feeling today?
Feeling good. Thank you.
Yeah, you said it was nice and 80 and sunny there, so I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, a
That's
little
nice.
fog this morning, but it cleared up.
Yeah. Still, you win for today. All right, so we'll do a little background and talk to you about Aaron, and then you just hop right into the questions. Aaron's a contractor turned marketer who grew his HVAC and plumbing company from 1.3 million to 17 in annual revenue, earning 4 spots on the Inc. 5,000 list. He now runs Sequoia GEO, where he helps local service businesses turn Google Business Profile, Google Ads, AI-driven processes into real booked jobs, not just vanity metrics. He's here to share practical, no-fluff strategies to the listeners who can use and make more calls and more ROI for their marketing. I stumbled over the last part there. Sir, are you ready for the questions?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Talk to us about, as an entrepreneur, what was your first win?
First win. Okay, so we'd have to go way back.
Wayback Machine. Good stuff.
Yeah. No, I started doing. I was an entrepreneur back in high school.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. We started a car detailing business with a twist. But back to your question, first win was really getting people to believe in me and that we could accomplish what we set out to do. So I really think that quality of leadership was kind of the first win. And it was myself and 2 others, and we were going around canvassing businesses to detail cars. The flaw in that business model was that we were 16 and we were telling people, we'll pick up your car and go detail it and then bring it back to you. Which now sounds outrageous. I don't know. But yeah.
But you were actually doing it? So I mean, you're 16, you're actually doing it? They were giving you giving you the keys and everything?
We did a couple cars. We were not
cars
by any means successful, but yeah, we started our own business at 16, and then yeah, that's kind of where it all began. So
did you have anybody when you showed up say, hey, listen, this isn't going to work? Like you showed up and you're ready to take the car type thing?
We had one instance where this guy wanted us to detail his RV and was like, great, meet us at our quote unquote shop, which was the local like coin operated car wash place. And he kind of threw a fit about it. And I'm like, look, man, we're kids, and we don't have overhead. We don't have money to put into a building or a facility or whatever. Plus, your vehicle's oversized. So yeah, but it was the leadership that I think that was kind of the quality that I didn't realize at the time, but looking back, that was a big deal.
Gotcha. No, that's good. That's a great start for us here today. Talk to us about your best habit.
Ooh, I think communication and persistence are two of my best habits. I tend to over communicate, and I know that doesn't work well with some personality types, but I prefer to try and go, and over communicate with people as opposed to kind of assuming everything's good. And so,
gotcha.
Yeah, really, really focused on, sending out either emails or texts or getting people on the phone just to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
What is your preferred method? Don't say all. Which one do you like? I really enjoy this means of communication. I think it's the most effective.
Text.
Yeah.
I prefer texting more than anything else. I have no problem with long text conversations. And a big reason for that is I'm more likely to remember a text conversation, and I can go back and reference it. Somebody calls me on the phone, they or I may be distracted doing something else at the same time. Then all of a sudden it's wait, aren't you gonna?
Yeah.
And then So text is preferred for me.
All right. So when you're at the client, what is considered over communication? Is it like 3 times a day, 5 times a day? How often do you, I'm sure it depends a little bit on the client itself, but like what is a normal, often frequency?
Yeah. So I try and get understanding of how often the customer is responding, because I'm not necessarily just following up on the same question multiple times a day, but I may have different questions about certain things. And if I notice that a client's not, it's usually in that kind of intro phase early on with a new client that I'm sending out a couple messages. And if they're responding right away, hey, great. Okay, we've got a good
Yeah.
two-way communication going. But if there's not a lot of return, then I might wait a day or two before I follow up with them. And everybody's got plenty of stuff going on.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Talk to us about a truth in marketing that you wish more people knew about.
A quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
Oh, a truth in marketing that I wish more people knew about. Gosh, I think it's one of the primary skill sets that often gets overlooked. Um, Especially, the industry that I come from, contracting home services, a
Yeah.
lot of those guys are operations guys. And that's really important. But at the same time, they undervalue how much work goes into the marketing side and its connection to sales. And that's been kind of the gap that I'm realizing with some of my clients needs to be bridged. Is you've got marketing working for you, um, but then they're really not focused on or concerned about what is actually happening in the sales. What was the revenue? You know, how I can tell you, yeah, we sent you more leads than you've had in the last 3 months, but did they do what they were supposed to?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just valuing the marketing side of the table.
What kind of metrics are you using? What are the vital metrics that when you sit down and talk to them about? What is the ones you're like, these are the ones that we need to really pay attention to?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we're all judged by revenue, and
Yeah.
it's a real challenge because we get caught up in, what was our conversion rate, how many clicks did we get, um, how many new customers did we bring in this month versus previous months. All of those things are great for us who are geeking out about marketing, but at the end of the day, we're going to get blamed if the revenue numbers are down. If we're an external agency and their sales is all internal, right?
Yeah.
If they trust and believe in their sales team, we're the outsiders. And so that's an important consideration for us as to make.
Yeah. If they're not making money, they can't keep hiring you. Simply put, right? Yeah.
No, very true.
With your team these days, what stuff do you still hands-on handle? And what things are you passing off to the team or passing off to AI?
Yeah, great question. So when I started Sequoia GEO, my concept was to leverage AI as much as I possibly could and to see how far I could go leveraging AI. Now, there are certain things that I'm not completely comfortable handing off. Like there's just, I don't like automating AI to just respond to emails for me. That's not,
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I still have to be a big integral part of the business, but really, I'm trying to keep this as small as I possibly can in terms of personnel and leverage AI as much as we can, because I mean, we're seeing this shift happen. Geez, it feels like overnight,
Yeah. Yeah.
with OpenClaw, Now, I just saw today that Perplexity's got their own version of OpenClaw. Manus AI has got their own agents now. So the ability for one person to do a tremendous amount of work, especially in our seat in the marketing side, is really going to is really going to catapult. It's going to speed everything up really soon. So it's pretty cool.
How big is your team these days?
So I have 2 subcontractors that work for me right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so one is really a specialist on Google Ads. And then the other one I'm utilizing for outreach and actually just picking up the phone to call customers, because I don't think AI outbounding is quite there, or even if it is, we're not ready for it. Maybe that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. It's not quite, not personal enough. No, that makes sense. That's great. That's an excellent answer. So when you get those businesses to show up to you and say, hey, listen, we have minimal budget right now. We really want to work our way up. And as you continue helping us with sales, we'll bump our budget up. What are the first few things you're going to do with that starter budget?
Yeah. So Google Business Profile is so important, and it is the most often overlooked tool that people don't appreciate. And so it's a free, tool, and that's probably why it gets overlooked. If Google was charging people $1,000 a month for it, they'd pay a lot more attention to it. But it needs to be treated like the most valuable tool that you have in your business, because of how many, Google's AI, Gemini, ChatGPT, everything is looking at Google Business Profile because it is a very trusted resource. And so if your Google Business Profile is not optimized, you shouldn't really do anything else. And that's including don't build your website if your Google Business Profile isn't optimized, because you want those 2 things to mirror each other. And then once you go beyond that, if you're in an industry that can use Google local service ads, again, connected to Google Business Profile, all those things are related. That's where I would go next with a budget. But yeah, it's investing that time and money into the business profile, and then making sure that your website mirrors your business profile.
Okay. You said optimized. Can you give us a few things that need to be optimized in the profile? Some tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So Google's looking at your Google Business Profile and its completeness. So there's a ton of questions in Google Business Profile, for instance, on like what languages you speak. Well, you need to go in there and tell it, I don't speak any other language than English, if that's the case. If you speak an additional language, that's great too. But go in and select all those boxes. Otherwise, it looks incomplete to Google. More importantly is getting reviews, responding to those reviews quickly, using keywords in the review responses helps. It's not huge, but it's good. And then building out all of the the services that you provide, and making sure that your primary category is truly your primary category. If you do plumbing and I go to your website and everything on your website says electrical, that's not a fit.
It's not gonna work.
Maybe you want to do plumbing. Yeah. Maybe you want to get into plumbing, but those things need to connect.
Okay. So concurrency, flow makes sense. The basics, some super basics, plus the reviews. Those are always good. Do you do regular video or testimonials, or do you video testimonials, or doesn't matter? Like, just have them in there. Doesn't matter.
If we can get video testimonials, it's solid gold. Love it.
Sweet.
All
right.
So yeah, it's just getting the client to do that. But yeah, video is huge. So
nice. Okay. Talk to us now about some strategies you don't use anymore. Like, hey, listen, this doesn't work. Stop doing it. ROI is not there. Let's toss this out. Yellow pages, probably yellow pages be up there.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff that, and I think there's some contrarian type stuff out there that actually may still work that people think doesn't anymore. I'm struggling to think of, you mentioned Yellow Pages. I mean, who's using a phone book these days, right? It's all on Google,
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, because there's a place for some of the old school methodologies like yard signs. People aren't using yard signs enough. And
Okay,
this
that's
is
a good
really
one.
more of a home service type,
Yeah.
but direct mail. I mean, you're so saturated with stuff online that some of these older things that we used to do a lot more of because it was the only option, um outbounding, calling out, those types of things. I think they've become undervalued.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as what,
And do a little bit of everything, huh? Just try it out.
yeah, I,
All
I
right,
think it's
let me shift
important to
gears.
be.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Which one do you geek out on now? Like, I've loved this. This is my favorite. I enjoy this more than anything right now at this moment.
Um, oh, yeah, that's another good question. So I think the most fun that I'm having is seeing wins from launching new websites.
Gotcha.
Um,
That's good.
it's gotten easier than it ever has been before to build a website out with AI, and the tools that are available to us. Frankly, I think WordPress is pretty much dead. I don't know why anyone would choose to use WordPress anymore, quite frankly. I It's so tedious and a pain compared to the tools that are available now to build a website. Um, yeah, I'm to the point where if someone wants changes made on their WordPress site, I'm like, how about I just rebuild
I'd just redo one for you.
it?
And you could maximize it from scratch. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. All right. So, before we get to your business and let you do the outro, we're going to talk to you
Yeah.
about one of the hot topics. Everybody's asking. You can
Yeah.
easily. You only have a team of 3, so you're doing a lot of stuff hands on. There's a lot of AI stuff. You really could have your hands in everything, and you could easily be working 7 days a week, 40 hours. Like, it's crazy. What kind of things do you do to kind of avoid burnout? With your team as well. What kind of things are you doing to not overdo it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I was working in the office prior to starting Sequoia GEO. I was working in the office from about 6:30 to 7 in the morning, and I would get home around 5 or 5:30. That didn't mean my workday ended, but
It's true.
it was a lot, right? And then weekends, if you're in HVAC in the summertime, that's not really a thing. It's just another weekday, right?
Yeah.
So I transitioned from that schedule to really working from home, and being able to set my own schedule. And so, yeah, the opportunity to sit down at the desk at any point in time and just grind something out is absolutely there. Uh, I'm very fortunate that I have a family, and
Mm,
when they get home at 3 o'clock, it makes it difficult to work, which I think is a good thing. You know,
that's
it,
awesome.
it so I've kind of had to change my schedule so that I get about 7:30 to 3 o'clock that I can really focus, and that helps me limit, the amount of time that I'm working. So that's
So
been good.
family stuff? Do you do like any outdoorsy stuff or any other activities or things, or just hanging out with the family?
So we've actually gone really heavy into, last summer my kids started jujitsu.
Oh,
And
nice.
so all 3 of our kids are in jujitsu now, which has been fantastic. And then actually, towards the end of the summer, I started taking jujitsu as well. And so I'm going in the mornings 3 days a week, which has been really good for my mind. And it gives me a community, which is
Yeah, that's pretty
not
cool.
something you have when you work from home, right?
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
it's been
cool.
really cool.
That is awesome. All right, sir. So, what all the experience and all the different things you have going on, keeping the team small, that's really brilliant advice as well. So, let's talk about the business and where people can get a hold of you if they want more information from you.
Sure. So we are Sequoia GEO. They can find us online, sequoiageo.com. Active on Facebook, Aaron Husak on my Facebook profile, or Sequoia GEO through Facebook. Try and get stuff out on LinkedIn. I'm still trying to figure out my best strategy for Instagram, But yeah, really Facebook or my website are the best places to connect.
And probably your Google profile. I assume your Google profile is like top notch. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
That is.
definitely need to continually work on that. It's necessary.
All right, sir. We appreciate your time and your expertise and your knowledge today, and helping us with all the advice, keeping things small, making sure our Google profile is going nice and cleaned up. So we appreciate you, your time, and your expertise.
Thank you very much.
And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocalwarmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals.